Right now, somewhere on the map, a border is about to catch fire. And before a single soldier moves, your gas bill already knows about it. I'm Ryan. Last time we followed the weapons money. Today we follow something you actually pay for every single month: your energy bill. Here is the trick nobody says out loud. Wars almost never destroy the oil and gas. They just change who gets to sell it to you. Stick around, and by the end, you will read the next war the way traders do. Not by the flags, by the invoices. Every time the world burns, the same small circle mails itself a bill, and you are always on the paying side of it. To see how, we start with one stubborn decision over 100 years ago. 1911. Winston Churchill runs the most powerful navy on Earth, and he makes a bet that changes everything. He rips the coal furnaces out of the fleet and switches every warship to oil. Oil packs twice the energy of coal. The ships get faster, they travel further, and they refuel out at sea. One problem: Britain sits on mountains of coal and almost no oil of its own. So in 1914, Britain buys a controlling share of an oil company out in Persia. Today, you know that company as BP. In that moment, fuel stops being a supply problem. It becomes the thing empires will fight and die for. Churchill just chained Britain to the Middle East for the next 100 years. And every great power took the same notes. Because from here on, whoever controls the tap controls everyone standing downstream. Tanks, jets, warships, trucks. None of them run on patriotism. They run on fuel. So slowly the map of war and the map of oil turn into the exact same map, which pulls us straight to the most oil-soaked corner on the planet, the Middle East, where the fighting and the drilling almost never stop. 1990. Iraq's Saddam Hussein looks next door at tiny, oil-rich Kuwait and decides he wants it. He accuses Kuwait of stealing oil by drilling sideways under the border and rolls his tanks straight in. The world does not send 500,000 soldiers because it loves Kuwait. It sends them for what is under Kuwait. On the streets, the protest signs say it plainly: no blood for oil. Iraq gets pushed back out. But look at the lesson everyone quietly wrote down. Control the oil, and you do not just get rich. You get to decide how expensive everyone else's day is. Fast forward to 2003, a second war in Iraq. Same region, same resource, a far bigger bill. For decades, the deal looked locked. The Gulf holds the oil. Everyone else lines up and pays at the gate. Anyone who wanted power kept one hand on that region, especially the United States. And then, quietly, in a flat Texas field, something happened that flipped the whole board over. Engineers crack a method called fracking. They drill down, then sideways, then blast the rock open to squeeze oil and gas out. It is costly, it is messy, and for years the big players laugh at it. Then it works. American oil starts pouring out of the ground at a scale nobody predicted. By 2018, the United States passes Saudi Arabia and Russia to become the biggest oil producer on the planet. In 2015, America scraps a 40-year ban on selling its crude abroad. The gates swing open. By 2020, it flips from buying the world's oil to selling it. Over 13 million barrels a day. Think about what that does. For a century, America needed the Gulf. Now, America competes with the Gulf. The customer with the deepest pockets just became a supplier, and a supplier goes looking for buyers. So here is the quiet question that decides who gets rich next. Where will America find its new customers? You do not have to wait long for the answer. In 2022, a huge door swings wide open, and it opens on the side of the map most people were not even watching. So let's talk about gas. For years, Europe ran on cheap Russian gas. It flowed through giant pipelines day and night, no questions asked. In 2021, Russia supplied almost half of the whole European Union's gas, 45%. Homes, factories, power plants, a whole continent quietly plugged into one supplier in the east. Then, February 2022, Russia invades Ukraine, and the gas quietly turns into a weapon. Sanctions hit. Supply gets squeezed. And in September 2022, the biggest pipelines simply explode under the sea. Denmark and Sweden confirm it was sabotage. Years later, nobody has been convicted, and everyone blames everyone. Whoever did it, the result is the same. Russian pipeline gas to Europe collapses, from 40% down to about 6%. So picture Europe now. Winter is coming, and its biggest tap just got shut off. They need gas immediately, at almost any price. And guess who just became the world's #1 gas seller? American liquefied gas. Supercooled into liquid, loaded onto tankers, and shipped straight across the Atlantic. In 2021, the US sent Europe a modest trickle. By 2025, those shipments had almost quadrupled. The United States becomes the #1 gas exporter on Earth, and most of it points at Europe. The customer that used to buy from Russia now buys from America. A whole continent quietly switched suppliers and barely noticed the moment it happened. Different flag on the tap. The same wallet is still paying, and that wallet is yours.
Now the fun part. When the price of energy explodes, that money does not vanish. Somebody catches it. And the biggest catchers are the oil and gas companies. Look at 2022, the first year of the war. The 5 biggest Western oil and gas giants made more money than in any year in their history. Together, they cleared almost $200 billion in profit in 12 months. One American giant alone made $59 billion of that. No Western oil company had ever booked a bigger profit. And here is why that number made people angry. These companies did not pump much more oil, and they did not invent anything new. They sold the same barrels as before, just at a war price. The fighting pushed the price up, and every extra dollar landed in their pocket. Analysts even gave that windfall a name: excess profit, money made from the war itself. But that profit had to come from somewhere, and it came straight out of ordinary homes like yours. Across Europe, energy bills climbed to the highest level ever recorded. In some countries, the price of gas more than doubled in a single year. Heating, electricity, food, all of it jumped at once, and inflation in the Eurozone pushed close to 10%. Governments rushed in to soften the blow. Germany alone set aside 200 billion euros to help people pay. But that rescue money came from taxes. So you paid for it twice, once on your bill and once through your taxes. But if you have been paying attention, a bigger question is already forming. Is the story really this simple? The clean version says America beats Russia and just takes the customers. And that version is only half true. Here is the part that ruins the tidy story. Russia did not go broke. It just found new customers. When Europe stopped buying the oil, 2 giants started. China now takes about half of Russia's crude oil. India grabs another big third. Since the invasion, Russia has still pulled in close to $900 billion from fossil fuels. And the twist that really stings: Europe cut the pipelines and still buys Russian gas by tanker. Europe is still one of the biggest buyers of Russian liquefied gas on Earth. Cut with one hand, pay with the other. So it is not one clean winner. It is a giant resorting. The same oil and gas flowing to new buyers at new prices. And in 2025, it gets almost comedic. A grand deal is announced. Europe promises to buy $750 billion in American energy. The problem: analysts run the math and basically laugh. The volumes are close to physically impossible. It is a headline number and a political handshake. The ports and tankers cannot actually move that much. But the direction is real. Europe is being steered hard toward American energy, and that steering is worth a fortune. Step back from all the flags, and one rule runs through the whole thing. War almost never destroys energy demand. The world still needs to heat homes and move armies. What war does is reroute the flow. It rips up the old pipe and draws a brand new one. And every single reroute comes with a toll booth. Somebody now owns the new road, and they charge you for it. The fuel still flows, just through different owners, at a higher price, with you topping up the tank. It is the exact same move we watched with weapons last time. You pay in bills and taxes. A small circle collects. The soldier carries the risk. The driver carries the price. The trader keeps the spread.
So next time a war breaks out, try Ryan's little test. Do not just watch the map. Watch your gas bill. If the bill moves before the headlines do, you just spotted who is really playing, and it was never you. This was the fuel half of the war business. The weapons half, who profits when the missiles fly, is its own story. I broke that one down in the last video. It is linked right up here and in the description below. If this made the news look different, subscribe and stay for the next one. We take apart one money machine every week, and I want to hear from you. When the next war hits the headlines, will you check your gas bill before you believe the story? Tell me below, because someone always fills the tank and someone always holds the pump. Make sure you know which one you are. See you soon.